Shout out my son Do5 TV, one of the realest niggas out here.
Shout out Do5 TV, I know we rockin' with. If it ain't Do5, it ain't live.
Kids, nigga. Shout out my son Do5, if it ain't Do5, it ain't live.
I'm in the trenches, relax.
Surprise, shout out my niggas, they beating the odds, they work in the street and they looking for jobs. Market is hard, boy, keep your head up. You just keep stacking and go get your bread up.
5 TV, Live TV, who you rocking with?
Yo, what's up? Pop star Amir, right here, live from Jersey.
So for the people that don't know you, like say your name and how you got your name.
Well, my name is Amir, you know, that's the name that God gave me. So I'm named after my father, just trying to continue that legacy and hold up my name high, you know what I mean? Like, that's really the biggest thing.
Alright, so tell some of the people about yourself, like, so tell them where you from.
So I'm just from Essex County, for real. But right behind me, this is where I was kind of like built up and established, the Church of God and Saints of Christ, man. And like, here's where I really learned how to sing, I learned music, and it's right in the heart of the city, right? We're right on Central Avenue, right in the middle of the Mecca, Newark, New Jersey, you know? I moved around East Orange, South Orange, Irvington, Newark, but I'm just Jersey all day.
So like, what would you say, are you a rapper? Like,
I do pop, man. I do pop. I take it really seriously. I've been singing since I was 10. So like, the biggest thing for me was always just making sure that I perfect my craft and that I'm bringing something more to the table. You know, it started out a cappella, no beat, just singing. And then it progressed into rapping, it progressed into engineering, it progressed into DJing. So like, I wear a lot of different hats. I'm a producer. I got some songs out there people don't even know about, man. Like, just stuff I've written for people, things I've done. So I'm building, definitely.
So let's talk about the younger stuff. Like, what was you doing before the singing?
Before the singing? Man. I mean, I was just like any other kid. I was getting, like, I really had a strong family foundation. So that was like the really big thing for me. My parents were big into education. Even right now, I'm still a teacher. Like, that's like my career. And then I also transitioned into music and I do engineering. I do all types of stuff in the industry. Just trying to really make a name for myself. Trying to educate in my music as well, not just life. So like, that's really important to me. It's like always learning, always being studious, always being a student of the game, always paying attention and just having the business acumen to get this shit done, for real.
So what made you start singing?
I was born into it, for real. Like, my church, like literally all we did was sing. We sang a cappella, I was in the choir, I was at Sunday school singing, I was with my cousins singing, I was doing talent shows singing, doing plays singing. Like, all my life I grew up like using my voice, and it wasn't until I got into maybe like 8th grade where I really started rapping. But I started rapping to a melody, so it became like more like popular music. It wasn't like the average, you know, like, not the average, because I fuck with drill heavy, but like, it wasn't like the typical sound you would think of. It was more of a mainstream type sound that I was going for. And I continue.
So do you think your singing or your music influence the youth, or like people your age?
Yeah, man. Yo, so I have the saying, man. Music is worth 7 prayers, right? It's in the Bible too. It's in there, right? So when you proclaim something in music, you take it a lot further than just music. You feel me? So when I say something on the track, if I'm speaking death on the track, more than likely I'm bringing death and bad energy around me. So my thing was to because I knew that, I was always really skilled at writing and writing poetry, and I always made sure that when I talk about certain situations, I'm talking from a perspective where it's like, I'm watching it, and I'm watching it play out, because that's always what it's been in my life. Like, I'm not really in the streets, I'm not really, like, you know, doing any crazy shit out here. Like I said, I'm a teacher, so you're not gonna see me smoking in my videos, you're not gonna see me doing all this crazy shit. But not that it's crazy, because like, I hang around real niggas all day, you feel me? And like, I'm a real nigga at the end of the day, and like, I've always been respected as such, just because I stand on my own too, as an educator, you feel me? Like, that's what our people are. We come from the Moors. Like, I don't mean to get like too historical on niggas, but like, you feel me? The Moors were this class of black elite where we focus on education, arts, music, things like that, and we really brought that to the table. Like, they bit all that stuff off of us. This music shit, this was us, right? Newark is a mecca. A lot of people don't even know about the history of Newark, man. Newark is a mecca for music. in the industry, period. We're right next to New York. We've created a lot of the New York sound, right? No shots at New York, but you know, it was created over here across the river in Jersey, but people were too afraid to say that they were from Jersey, so they went out and did shows, said they're from New York, you feel me? So I mean, it's just about, I don't know, like to answer your question directly, yeah, I make music for the kids. I make music that they can listen to, that they're not going to feel bad afterwards. They're not going to feel like they got to shake some shit up. They're not going to feel like they got to run down on somebody. I just want to make feel good music.
So, and for the people that don't know, what city and state you from?
I'm from New Jersey, man. Born and raised. Born and raised in Essex County, period. Like.
So how do you feel about the violence in the cities of Essex County?
So I'll say it this way, man. Like, growing up, like I said, I've always been an observer, and I've watched a lot of shit happen. A lot of shit happen to my own family, my own friends. A lot of people in the community just going down for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Like, and when I actually got the opportunity to leave Jersey for a little bit to go to college, I saw that a lot of shit that was going on in our community wasn't normal. Like, the way I was wired, talking to some of my friends, how death was so easy to me, I'd be like, oh yeah, he just got killed. They'd be like, whoa, like, what the fuck? What does that mean? Like, you feel me? Like, after a while, you become numb to it. Like, I'm no stranger to it at all. Like, trust me, I just don't speak on certain things, but it's because I'm trying to, one, promote a positive image, and two, protect the image of the community, because we can't let people come in and destroy our image. Newark is a beautiful city at the end of the day, right? It's filled with some amazing people, some amazing talented artists, and we can't let this shit go down, like, for real, for real.
So have you ever lost somebody personally?
Yeah, man. I mean,
street violence?
Yeah, I lost friends, my dad, I lost uncles, I lost, like, all types of people some people I looked up to, some people, like, you know, you just know them. But it's a never-ending cycle. I'll put it like that. It's a never-ending cycle. And the more people who die, the more the body count is going to get raised at the end of the day. I try not to speak on certain things, but it needs to be said. Like, our black youth are dying, man. Like, I'm a teacher. I really care about my students. I really care about, like, I teach Newark students. Like, I'm a teacher in Newark. Like, I'm not a teacher just outside. So, like, I see my students, I see what they go through on the daily, you feel me? Like, it's hard out here, especially for the kids. Like, grown men aside, like, grown men gonna have their beef, they going to war. And so, for some of them, it's a little too late. But for the kids, like, they could still be saved. They could still get pulled out of that situation. They could still have a way out. It's just about letting them know that it's not all about getting your name up and then throwing it away. You feel me?
So, the death of your family members and friends, how did that impact your music?
They became ancestors, man. My grandmother, she's really spiritual, really big on like, black spirituality, and I've always been taught that, like, my ancestors at the end of the day are carried on my back. So, like, when I carry my music, when I sing a song, when I give some feel good music, that's somebody from my ancestry telling me, like, yo, this is what you need to do to make them feel good. I got musicians all through my family. Like, it's not just about the people who died drastically through violence, right? It's also about the people who accomplished something that you could learn something about from your family history. So, like, I learned from my uncle who's a jazz musician. I mean, my great-great-grandfather who's a jazz musician. I learned from my grandfather who's a jazz musician. He's not an ancestor, but he's still alive, thank God. But it's like just learning from these different people who move on, who pass on, who, you know, it inspires me. It keeps me going, for real, for real.
So as far as your music and collaboration, like, who have you been collabing with?
I've been collabing with, like I said, I've been doing music for 10 years, so I feel like I was one of the first motherfuckers out here trying to just collab with people just to collab. Like, Louis Vuitton Vaughn, I got songs with him. I got songs with, shit, there's a lot of Jersey artists I want to have songs with. I got a lot of songs from people outside of the state. That's the real big thing. Like, shout out Medina, shout out Extra, shout out Brian. But inside the city, there's a lot of guys I would love to work with, bro. Like,
so what's gonna get you out your element to work with guys in the city?
Really, bro, I'm an engineer, I'm a productionist. It really don't cost nothing. I'm just an industry guy. So, like, as long as it makes dollars, it makes sense. It's a music business at the end of the day. I'm trying to help the fellow black man, but we gotta be able to make a connection. How we gonna make some money off of it? I'm not saying, like, I'm gonna charge a crazy amount for a feature or anything like that. But I'm saying at the end of the day, if we're gonna work together, even if it's money off the back end that we discuss, you feel me? People don't talk about the back end. They always talk about the front end. So like if we talking money off the back end, yeah, we can make a deal. But I also have management, and I also take my structure really seriously. Like I'm with the Misty TV firm, so like anything, any contacts like that have to go through her. Have to go through the firm.
So what artists in the city do you listen to?
Yo, I listen to Moolah. I listen to Moose. I listen to a lot of the old heads too, man. You know, I be bumping the Fugees. They from Jersey. Like I be bumping Treach. I mean not Treach, Tretch. Naughty by Nature. Like this Queen Latifah. Like all the Jersey legends, for real. Like Flavor Unit.
So as far as like the little rappers you name, why don't you think they blown up yet?
A lot of people in their own way.
Even yourself, like why haven't you blown up yet?
A lot of people, including myself, are in their own way. As an independent artist, like there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. And like one thing I'm starting to learn on my journey as an artist, because like I started doing shows and shit like that recently, like really starting to get my foot in the industry, really starting to connect with people in the industry. And like the biggest thing I found with myself was I was in my own way. You feel me? I was hard-headed. I was the one trying to make decisions for everything. I wasn't open. Biggest thing about Jersey, bro, we don't trust each other. That's the real thing. We don't got a lot of trust, because you gotta think, you walking down the street, you mean mugging somebody all the time. You feel me? Like there's no trust there. So and the music industry is so dependent on trust. I had to get out of my element to be able to finally start seeing some success, finally start seeing some energy. And I feel like that's the only thing. Once people start to trust and get out their own way, it's gonna be golden. The city gonna be lit. Like the city's already lit. It's just gonna be lit earth. Like you feel me? It's gonna be where it needs to be.
So as far as your music, so what we got next and what we got out now? Like as far as the EP,
so
music video?
Right now I'm only doing radio campaigns. So I have a song right now, Papaya, that just charted in the top 50 in the independent charts.
Where they could get that at?
They can get that on Spotify, Kenya Amir. My next song is dropping on, it's actually dropping this week, another radio run. We're gonna push that, see where that shit ends up. And then I'm actually working in the works with an album. I guess I can say it now. Do 5 gonna get the exclusive live, right? It's called Work in Progress, right? So it's an album. I already have some heavy hitters on there. I got Sir K, Capital Productions. I got K on the track, Grammy nominated producer. Like I got a lot of motherfuckers features. Like I got some surprises for y'all that I'm working with for sure.
So do you consider your music a safe place?
Yeah. Like I used to be a DJ, so like the biggest thing for me when I was DJing was like controlling the vibe of the party, and like I know it works. Like I know I make songs to like, you know that part of the party where like shawty wanna groove, she wanna dance, she wanna grind on somebody. Like I make that kind of music. Like you feel me? I make the songs for the female at the club when she's sweating her tracks out and shit like that. Like no funny shit, but it's like my music is a safe space in that you're going to have fun. You're gonna have positive energy, and you're gonna feel every single word, because it's lyricism at the end of the day too inside of the singing.
So how do you start most of your songs? Like acapella, or do you pick a beat? Like
it depends on the song. If I hear a fire track, I can freestyle that whole jump, right? But if it's something where like I need to sit down and actually write, so like I have a process, right? I record most of my music in the car, like first and foremost, and that's a fact. Like most of my music is recorded in the car off of reference tracks. And then I take those reference tracks, I go to the big major studio, and then I record that shit, lay that shit down, and make it sound like how it's supposed to sound, you feel me? So just trying to go through and keep that going is like the biggest thing. Just keeping that process, walking all the way down.
So what would you say some of the realest shit you ever said in some of your music?
Alright. How many people got wings? How many people got dreams? How many people are stuck in the middle? They feeling neglected, respect is a little bit faint, and I'm feeling inferior. Keep walking, don't break down the barrier. Roman, I need me a cellular. Calling to tell you we ain't enough. I am a scribe, look at my pen, describing my feelings, I'm rapping again. Remember depression was kicking my door down, there was no warrant, I'm not in the pen. Remember the nights when I had to cry, begging for mercy, I looked to the sky, begging to God like I am your God. The devil was working, I wasn't surprised. Shout out my niggas, they beating the odds, they working the street and they looking for jobs. Market is hard, boy, keep your head up. You just keep stacking and go get your bread up. Please.
And if somebody want to feature, how would they get in tune with you?
Hit up Misty TV, mistytvfirm.org, man. That's the best way to get in tune with me. My management is solid. She'll get you right. She'll make sure we have the production, everything laid out, a whole plan to map it out, get that shit pushed out, and get Jersey popping.
So you've been rapping for a little while. Have you ever had any doubts?
Any doubts? I always knew I was a performer, bro. Like, I've done theater, I do fashion, like modeling, like all that stuff. So I always knew I was a performer. So for me, it's not even just the records itself. Like, I could make a record all day, because I've been an engineer too, and like a production assistant and everything. So it's like, the biggest thing for me is my performance. When y'all come to my shows, you are in for a treat. I am talking about Chris Brown meets Trey Songz meets August Alsina meets Mr. Steal Your Girl. So don't bring your girl, but bring the girls. You feel me? Don't bring your girl, but bring the girls. Our shows are one of a kind, man. And the next one is actually in VA, Valentine's Day. Missy TV firm. We going up. We having the Missy TV firm awards. So live on Do 5. Y'all heard it.
So where do you see yourself in a year or two, and what's your goal?
Bro, my boys will tell you. My goal, my vision is always like the moon. Like, sometimes I'll go missing for 3 days, no cap. Like, because I'll be working on a mission. If my boys tell me something, if my guys tell me something, my family tells me something, like, I'm on that shit like a pit bull. And I don't stop until I get it. So a year from now, and I'm saying it right here, I'm going to be Grammy nominated. Like, that's just how it is. That's how my mentality is. Be Grammy nominated. I'm going to be in fashion magazines. I'm going to be, me and my whole team are going to be up, right? And when I go up, I'm bringing Jersey with me. No cap, because this is popular music. Remember that. Popular music. Everything I make is going on the radio. Period.
So you want to give a shout out and say who you do it for?
Right. I mean, first and foremost, shout out to God, right? The merciful. Without him, I couldn't do anything, right? Second of all, thank my parents. You know, I come from a strong foundation. Thank my church family. I thank the city of Newark, period. I thank all my homies, right? All my guys who've been with me day one, my fraternity brothers, my Benedict's brothers, everybody, like, who's ever rocked with me, who's ever been with me. Just know that I have nothing but love, appreciation, and admiration for you. I'm not saying names specifically, just because I know a lot of people, and people will get upset with me if I say names and I start naming people. But nah, for real, anyone who knows me knows my heart. I wear that shit on my sleeve. And it's all love all the time for me, for real.
And let me get it, if it ain't Do 5, it ain't live.
If it ain't Do 5, it ain't live, my guy.
Shout out my son Do 5 TV, one of the realest niggas out here.
Shout out Do 5 TV, I know we rocking with. If it ain't Do 5, it ain't live.
Kids, nigga. Shout out my son Do 5, it ain't Do 5, it ain't live.
I'm in the trenches, relax.